Then you late.
Yeah. Go. Yeah. Go. What were you saying, Slow-Mo?
No, I'm just saying there's just too many people who think they know better than doctors, know better than scientists, and apparently all of a sudden they're all, they all have a bachelor's degree in biology, and they just know anatomy so well now. Oh, no one's going to get sick. It's not that big a deal. Oh, it's still got dummies saying like this is no different than like the flu, and it's just like, are you serious? Like how many times? How many times do we have to see this, all the stats to show that this is affecting people way quicker and faster than the flu does, and the incubation period of like up to 2 weeks. Like it's just, people have got to stop being so stupid, man. It's just like, the second wave is going to happen. It's going to happen, and and this may sound really cold.
Slow-Mo, real quick.
But
it doesn't
the
have
dumb
to
people
happen.
will die first. The dumb people will die first. So good. Go, if you die before November, you don't get to vote more morons into office. So good.
Go out. They're not the herd. Because the fact of the matter is, I look at it like this: like you're gonna listen to these knuckleheads who are not out there with you protesting, who are not out there with you at the beach. When they decide to open up the government buildings and the White House, the tours and all that other stuff, then we talk about rolling back out. But until they start doing that, follow their cues.
Look, man,
follow the fact that your orange dummy on camera took his mask off in the Ford factory, but when he was actually off camera walking around, had a mask on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nobody want to talk about that. Yeah. We don't want to talk about that.
They want you to go back to work because they want money. That's it. Yeah. That is the alpha and omega of it. They want money. They want you to work, put yourself at risk so that they can get back to living lavishly the way they used to live. They're not doing what you're doing because they don't need to go work. They can stay at home and do everything that they want to do at home. But you got to work in those factories. You got to work in those stores. And meanwhile, you got Karens out here basically on camera just telling everybody they just want to get out and get their hair done.
You know what's wild, Slow-Mo, is that I've seen people say, well, it's my choice. Leave it up to individuals if they want to put themselves at risk. But it's not, what people don't realize, it's not just if you get sick. The matter of fact is you may not show symptoms for 2 to 14 days. Or you may have showed no symptoms. There's studies out there that think that asymptomatic people can be anywhere from 10% to 50% of spreaders, which means that whether it's 10 or 50, the fact of the matter is there is a proportion, there's a population of people that are infected that don't know they have this, that are getting other people sick, and those people could potentially die. So yeah, you may have the choice to go out there and say, you know what, I'm going to take the choice and risk getting sick because I think I'm going to be okay. But what you don't realize is that your choice doesn't just impact you, it impacts your community and those around you. That's the short-sightedness of all this that just blows my mind. I don't get it. And I get that we got to get people back to work. I get that we got to open up businesses, but we got to do it smart. We got to listen to science. I've never seen people, just go on their own gut. Oh, I don't believe Fauci because he's a flip-flopper or blah, blah, blah. Or no, these are scientists.
He's got lion eyes.
Yeah. Let me ask you.
He's got lion eyes. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Would you let your plumber perform heart surgery on you? Probably not, because your plumber is not the expert when it comes to heart surgery. Why the fuck would you not listen to I'll tell you, man, I've seen so much crazy shit today, man, and maybe it's because I've been in my house for a long time, but I'm just over it. Police brutality again. Oh. People mad at Colin Kaepernick for bending a knee. Why do you think he did that? It's what the how much more do people need to see that shit's fucked up? That there is disproportionate. There's police brutality.
I got you. Disproportionate police brutality towards African
Americans. Think about it. It blows my mind. Yo, and let me tell you, I'm not African American, but I'm Hispanic. And let me tell you something. Yo, I've had to deal with cops. You know, I got pulled over for shit. You know, broken tail light. No, it's not broken. Step out of the car. What? Really?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've had the broken tail light thing too.
Yo, this shit is wild.
I guess that's a DMV thing. That's what they use.
No, let me tell you. And, you know, I remember one time my wife and I are crazy story. We're in Ocean City. We're having a good time, and we're playing around. Like we got a little drunk one night, right at a bar. We're playing around, and I'm tickling her. And she's like, "Stop, stop!" And the police is there. He's like, "Ma'am, are you okay? Is he harassing you?" She's like, "Yo, he's my husband." Really? The cop was like, "Really?" She's like, "Yeah." And she's white. My wife's white. And this is this is like, you know, this is like 7 years ago this happened. I mean, it just blows my mind. It blows my mind. And, you know, I understand that people are concerned about the well-being, mental health of people that are impacted by this whole thing. But, yo, like, for real talk, this shit's been going on. You talk about mental health. You talk about, you know, people's the well-being of others. What's been going on in the inner cities for years now, right? No one talks about that. No one cares about people in the inner city. What do they do? They demonize them. Oh, they're takers. They're lazy. They're this. They're that.
Yeah, AC in the chat, it says that he respectfully disagrees with us. So many small businesses, and he's in the DMV. So many small businesses are now closed for good due to mandatory shutdown, while big box stores stay open. Well, I mean, this is what I would say. I respect how respectfully he said that. You know, he didn't name call, he didn't get angry or anything. We can always agree to disagree and have a friendly discord about topics. What I will say to that though is that yes, some small businesses are closed for good, but there is essentially two outcomes here. These businesses are closed for good, or more people die. And like, really, what's more important here? The people who lost those businesses, they can rebuild. There is always the chance to come back from a setback, but you gotta be actually alive to do that. And so that's what I'll say to that. And also Sam Walton says that as an officer, it pisses him off because he's labeled as one of these asses. And, you know, I definitely understand that. My uncle was a detective for the Washington, D.C. Police Department for over 2 decades. And he's seen a lot, and he told me a lot. And I thank God for him, because he showed me how to he showed me how to handle certain situations with police. And it's sad, because it's like you would think that having a family member would kind of help you get out of certain situations. Not really. So or that said, I don't want to burden this down too much. I mean,
you know what's interesting, Slow-Mo, and I appreciate AC. I appreciate the, your position, everything. But I'll say this: it's not just the fact that small businesses are now closed because of the mandatory shutdown. Here's the thing: we have so much wealth in this country, and no one's thinking about this. We go overseas. We fucking nation build. We drop billions and billions of dollars in Iraq, right? How much money do we spend on that war? With trillions of dollars in deficit. The money they spent, the billions they spent. Think about this. Michael Bloomberg came out and dropped a bag on a failed campaign. He spent about $500 million. All right? We spent billions of dollars in Iraq. A country that doesn't really want us there anymore now. Doesn't want us anything to do with it. We spend billions of dollars in the Middle East, billions of dollars in war. You telling me we can't spend billions of dollars in our small businesses? I mean, like this, I don't know. Look, that's all I got to say about that. I don't know.
Oh man, Gregor coming after you.
What is Gregor saying?
Are are we just gonna gloss over the fact that Enrique has had a woman kidnapped long enough for Stockholm Syndrome to set in? And he's his wife.
Man,
Gregor speaking from experience.
Oh man, he just made me laugh. Okay, we can move on. Talk about some games, man.
Yeah, man,
all this other stuff is just, ever since all that stuff happened yesterday, it's just been depressing upon depressing. So let's talk about something.
I will.
Smokey in the chat wanted to know about, do we think Zen 3 plus NVIDIA RTX 3080 Ti will run 4K 60, bruh?
Yes,
that should run 4K
that should
120.
Run 4K 120.
Yeah, you could do Zen 2 CPU with a 2080 Ti and run 4K 60 ultra settings for most games right now. So if you're waiting on that for just 4K 60, you don't need to wait. You can go build something right now.
You wait on Zen 3 RTX 3080 Ti to brag. That's what you wait on.
Exactly.
If you want to brag,
you try to floss on people. You know what I'm saying? like I think it was yesterday. I posted a screenshot on Twitter of I was playing. I know it's just like the Halo 2 Anniversary remaster, but it was up at like 143 frames a second or something like that. And I was just like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and just put this screenshot up. Every now and then, you just want to brag about your frames. You know, it is what it is. But yeah, a little bit. Hey, Smokey, you could get that right now if you want. If you want to spend that $1,200 on the 2080 Ti.
I tell you what, though, that 3080 Ti will make dinner and breakfast for you. Will pour champagne.
It'll do your taxes.
Do your taxes. Probably, yeah.
I do want to, because Glory, he said a couple of good things. He said a good thing where he's talking about how big corps, about bailing out the smaller businesses and stuff. I think the only reason you see big businesses, because it's mostly a give take thing around that, mostly because they want those big businesses to keep their employees and stuff, and most of them are doing that, like the airlines and stuff. They have to at least keep those people to get that bailout money. They have to keep those people employed all the way through September. Now, if this nobody hopes this situation keeps going through September, but if it does, then that will become a problem there too. But the government, as much as you hate, I mean, people right now are making way more money sitting on unemployment than they are at work, and that's kind of where I think they're trying to, separate the people that are saying, hey, small businesses, we really can't do nothing for that. But for the people that are in those situations, you can literally make more money now than you were making then. And then that also helps with like the payroll side of those small businesses. They don't have to really worry about paying their associates and stuff. They can keep their overhead lower and stuff. It's not a perfect system. I mean, not at all. I mean, everybody wish everybody could get bailed out in a situation, but it's just different ways of the government handling it. I still feel like it's all messed up in the end, but ultimately something was going to have to give, and it's unfortunate. People are going to lose their jobs. Businesses aren't going to come back. Even bigger ones aren't going to come back after this. So, but there's just different ways of handling it. But it sucks that it's going that way.
Yeah, I will say this, man. One of the things that kind of made my week forte, speaking of businesses, which might need a bailout, GameStop called me.
Oh, they did? Well, they called you for a job?
No, not a job.
Because they're hiring.
Yeah, no, they called me and they said to me, hey, Mr. Enrique, your Persona 5 box edition. I got the $100 one, whatever it is. Is it like a box forte? Is that what it is? It was like a big box. What is it?
Yeah, it's a box.
With the Royal Edition?
Yeah, the Royal Edition. Yeah,
the Royal Edition.
Yeah.
Did you play the original?
Yes, I played the original. Yeah, we talked about this with
Kofi?
With Kofi, remember?
Okay.
But I thought.
Yeah, but I didn't know you had maybe I just missed it. I didn't know that you had bought the Royal Edition.
Yeah. I probably didn't mention it, but I actually pre-ordered it. I owe about like $80 on it because I did put.
Ryan Landis. GameStop's phones are still on.
What'd you say for that?
Oh, Ryan Landis says, wait, GameStop's phones are still on.
Only to the end of the month, Ryan.
Only to the end of the month, yeah.
There are some GameStop that did have their phones shut off, though, because why pay a bill to a store that's not going to be open for 2 months? So
those are the facts.
that was part of the opening procedures. Like when your store opened back up, you had to like make phone calls to corporate and had to let them know the store was opening so they can get all your stuff turned back on. I mean, why pay for stuff if it's not going to be open? I feel them.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, but you know what's it's funny because they called me. It was like, oh my god, like this is great. GameStop's back open. They got my Persona 5 Royale, like special edition, the $100 thing, whatever it is, and
You had it at the store?
Yeah, it's at the store.
Oh shoot, that happened fast.
Yo, we got a super chat from T-Rock 40, $5 super chat. He says frames are compensation for poor skills. Laughing out loud. Ask code. Great show, guys. T-Rock, frames are not compensation for poor skills. This is peasant logic, okay? That doesn't work, all right? Like, because you haven't experienced any gaming higher than 60 frames per second that you don't know what it's like. And quite simply, you could be playing a first-person shooter at 240 frames per second. If you suck, you suck. So you're not going to be like significantly better than you were at 60 frames per second. It doesn't do that for you. And shout out to Code. I love the guy, but Code don't like higher frames because he got bag eyes because he old. And so he can't see anything, beyond 25 frames per second. So, asking him to see anything over 60 is just too much. So, man. I mean, maybe like 15 years ago, Code would be into it, but it's too late for him now.
Oh, man. He got those special glasses now, slow-mo.
Oh, he got them special glasses. Like, he can see Mars from his deck, it's crazy.
Somebody gonna clip this and send it to Cody. He'll be here in 20 minutes.
It's all good. I got love for him. My bad, guys. Go ahead.
No, but you said so, Ricky. So they got your game is at the store, so you can go pick it up tomorrow. Or
here's the thing. Like, they want me to come to the store, and like I really don't want to go to stores right now. But I might, because he's like, we have to wear a mask. He's like, that's company standard. We have to wear a mask. He's like, we're asking people not to touch anything on the shelves because that's been kind of challenging. The manager's been great, by the way. I'm like, hey, do you know Gaming Forte? He's like, yeah, Gaming Forte is the best manager GameStop. He always sells Game Pass. So he gave you a plug. He said you're amazing.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. He says you never sell PlayStations, though.
The funny thing is,
I heard that too. I heard like when people come to your store to buy a PlayStation that you refuse to give them service. Is that? Well, I mean, we have to say about that, Forte. I mean.
Whatever. Last time I looked,
so you don't deny it.
He's not denying. He just said whatever.
Last time I looked, I sold 7 PlayStations last week alone. Average attach on those systems was over $500 because
You sold them or your staff sold them and you just weren't there to stop it?
Well, listen, they came in when I was the only one there working because, I'm a good manager and I don't make my people work days by themselves. I do it by myself. So on a day that only calls for one person to be there from 12 to 8, I do it myself. So that day, 9 PlayStations came into the store. And guess what I did? Every last one of those mugs I sold. 4 of them sold with PlayStation Now, and the other ones all sold with extra controllers and stuff off the website. Did we?
Yeah, they saying that in the chat. I see the little thing spinning right now.
I dropped it. My internet went down. You guys hear me?
Yeah, you biting really hard, but we hear you.
Oh man, my internet. Hold on a second. My internet just dropped.
There he is.
They're saying we back now.
Yeah.
Am I botting bad?
Yeah,
dude, you're botting. You are Optimus Prime botting right now.
All right, let me. I'm gonna drop out. I'll come back.
You got the touch.
This day, one of us will stand.
One will fall.
Oh man, that movie is a classic, yo.
It is.
That's a classic right there, bro.
I need to buy that on like Prime Video or something.
I know, man. was like when I was doing that last video, it was more of I was talking to somebody, they say every video don't have to be this highly produced thing.
Yeah. Some questions of a game, those are my easiest videos. Because all I gotta do, we can hear you.
My body.
Yeah,
You're still biting.
Damn it.
Are you using the app or are you using the browser?
Using the app.
Fuck that Windows app, man. Off that shit.
Yeah.
It's hot garbage.
Yo, can y'all hear us in the chat? Yeah, they hear. Okay, I think we're back.
Can you guys hear me?
Hopefully. Yeah. Sorry guys, this has been a massive shit show. This has been
I think
pretty
we're
bad. But we're gonna try. We're gonna try as soon as we get Enrique in and he doesn't sound like an Autobot. We're really going to try run through these topics and really
you guys hear me?
try to make it up for you guys.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, but it's still the same. It's a little bit better, but it's still some biting going on. But look, if you could because whenever you leave, they can't hear us. If you could stay in the party and then mute yourself, then try to fix it, then we could continue on with the show, and then people can still hear us, but then you get your audio good.
Is mine still bad though? Is it really bad?
Yeah, you sound like Megatron now.
Jeez.
upgrade or a downgrade.
pretty soon he gonna sound like Starscream.
No, I thought you were gonna say you sound like Grimlock or something.
I love how savage Starscream was in the movie too, man. As soon as Megatron was out, down and out, he's like, kick him. He went up and kicked him in.
Yeah, man. Starscream couldn't wait. Yeah, you're good now. You good.
Ryan Landis said you got your 56K plugged back in yet?
It's way better. I think this is probably about as best as it's going to get tonight.
Oh, you talking about that NVIDIA stuff that came with those RTX cards?
Oh, then that RTX voice is trash, man. I can't get that thing.
Oh, I was about to say.
Okay, cool. Well, I mean, we were, we so what we were talking about before we kind of got into talking about YouTube videos was Last of Us 2 gameplay reveals, and just to recap, because I don't think what most of the audience heard speak. What we were talking about, the state of play, they came out today, and it was The Last of Us 2. Neil Druckmann, the director, spoke and talked about some things that had changed with the game and the story, and then went into what was it, 10 minutes of gameplay. So it looked amazing. I love the fact that Ellie was climbing through the vents and heard one of the enemies was listening to Ice Cube, literally my favorite Ice Cube song. So that was awesome. But like I think the gameplay is like an advancement of what the previous game's gameplay was, which I thought was okay, but it wasn't that great to me. And
yeah.
I really like how this gameplay looks now, like the different ways that you can deal with enemies, holding people hostage, stuff like that. Like, look, it's just I can't wait to play it. I can't wait to play it. Although I still kind of feel like the story is still not too cool with some of the things that are happening in the story, but that gameplay, it looks fire, and I can't wait to play it. What about you guys?
Man, where do I start on this? Where do I start on this? You know what? No, I actually liked it. I can't front. It was actually.
Well, why would you front? I don't understand. Why would you front like? Why would you act like you didn't want to like it, Forte? I don't understand.
I wanted to troll, but I don't. It was actually really good. I mean,
why would you troll The Last of Us 2? Would you troll an Xbox game?
Yeah, I do all the time.
I never heard that before. Hey, you guys heard him trolling Xbox games? I don't know.
Sea of Thieves got 8 hours of my time, and I never went back.
Which game?
Sea of Thieves. Never went back. 8 hours. 8 hours of my life I can't get back.
Okay. All right. So Last of Us 2. No trolling. What you got?
No, it was good. I enjoyed the one thing I really enjoyed the most about it was the combat looked fluent as all hell. Like the transitions in the actual gameplay looked, I mean, it almost, you know how like God of War, when you had the scripted parts where you lost control of the game and you thought you were actually playing, but you really wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I don't know how much of the gameplay was scripted like that, but Lord have mercy, even just grabbing somebody and using them as a shield and just the fluidness of pulling your pistol out and shooting somebody in the head and being able to swap, and it literally just everything was just transitioning well between objects, between items you were using, between the environment. Like as soon as you got to a corner, you ducked behind the corner. It looked like it was automatically happening for you and stuff. You didn't have to do it. It just looked. It almost looked like I was watching a in-game trailer instead of watching gameplay. And I was like, dude, this looks amazing. And I remember when I forget the developer's name that was talking about all the stuff that was going on in Naughty Dog. He even said the one thing he said in that whole thing is people will be impressed as hell when it comes to the animations that are in this game. And when I saw that, I was like, dude, that is amazing what I was seeing. And it's
next level animation. Absolutely.
Next level, dude. Like it's like you literally just transition from one to the next thing, and it doesn't even seem like there was a break in the frame at all. So I was excited to see that. Now I really don't want to comment on all the other stuff because it all depends on everybody's gonna have a different take, especially if you saw the leaks and stuff, how you're gonna feel about the game in the end. That kind of clouds your judgment of what you think about how the story was being portrayed. But I got excited for the game just because the gameplay looked amazing, and I'm about gameplay over everything. So when I saw that, I'm like, I'm still gonna enjoy this game no matter what. I may hate it at the end of it due to everything we saw, but just the experience of what I know I'm going to experience while playing it, 100% in. Can't wait to this game releases, and I'm good. Don't need to see anything else.
Bet.
Yeah. I'll jump in there. Yeah, it just I was just kind of like mesmerized by just like listening to like some of the sound of it. You know what I'm saying? Like the way the gun sound.
The sounds were amazing. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, just like every little thing, man. Just like when a bullet would hit flesh, it just sounded like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like a headshot just sounded like visceral. Something, you know, when she's stabbing, it sounded visceral. And and just I'm just like watching them, like, man, Ellie been in the gym. She's been in the dojo. You know what I'm saying? Just you definitely get that feeling that, you know, a lot has happened, a lot has changed, and the world is just darker, and she's whatever it is. Like I said, I haven't seen any of the story beats. You know, avoid the spoilers up to this point, but it's just whatever's kind of setting her off on this path, man. She's just all about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but it also gameplay wise, it just looks like it's like an evolution of what they kind of started laying the groundwork in, like with the with The Last of Us, the first game, and have kind of elevated, which is what you expect, from take feedback, to look at things that they did before, and to excel upon that, and grow upon that. So it looks like that's definitely in there. Some new enemy types. I mean, you burn a dog up and that shit sounded painful and crazy, and I'm like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're probably gonna catch you for that.
Right,
It was just crazy stuff, you know what I'm saying? Just in that one little piece, and then to hear like Neil saying like, this is only like a small section, a small portion of the whole. That's just crazy. I can't wait to see what we're gonna get into.
They missed a great opportunity to have, like, when Ellie came up behind the girl with the Vita, and
that was funny.
They missed a huge opportunity when the headphone pulled out, to say that the headphone pulled out of the Vita and all you heard was a speaker, and she could have been playing Golden Abyss, and it had the Uncharted soundtrack played in the background while it's laying on the floor.
Yeah, that would have been pretty cool.
Real cool if they would have just looked, like if they would have just took the camera and looked down at the Vita and all you saw was the Uncharted Golden Abyss game on the Vita. I would have lost my mind even more, bro, because as soon as I saw it, I was like, look at Sony.
Yeah, I mean, Naughty Dog has done that before. Remember in Uncharted 4 where you could play Crash Bandicoot?
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah, you can play.
I mean, they've done that where you can play like one of their games within the game kind of deal. So like that would have been a nice little touch there.
Yeah.
Yo, B, I know you over there excited to talk about this. What did you think, man?
Well, man, I was super excited. I've been excited at least from the gameplay aspect when they first showed it. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people giving them heat about like how violent the game was. And I actually kind of like their take on it. You know what I mean? Because it's just something that we haven't seen. We play like all these different games with guns and different weapons and stuff, but like nothing had taken it to that level as far as the actual violence is concerned. And then what they showed off today was just like, you know what I mean? Like you brought up with the sound of, you know what I mean, the headshots, the sounds of bullets hitting flesh. I mean, when bullets miss, you know what I mean, they're hitting off metal and wood, breaking wood. Like, all of the sound was fucking amazing. But then just the transitions, throughout the combat, you know what I mean, where she like throws the brick at the dude and then runs up, I mean, shoots him in the face, or like runs up and stabs somebody. Like, all of that is super crazy, and it's just not something that we see in games that you would typically think would be more violent, something like this. So, I mean, hats off to them. I really am excited to see like where the game goes as far as the gameplay is concerned, because they definitely have stepped it up a notch.
Yeah, like the one scene when Neil was talking about how every situation is different when it comes to the fighting and stuff, and they showed the scene where they were going like knife fighting and stuff with each other, just the transitions between it. I was like, dude, this looks incredible. But this also just brought me back to the first time they showed Last of Us, where no one knew if this was gameplay or if it was just an in-rendered cutscene. But when they first showed it, remember when they were showing her running around, getting underneath cars, throwing rocks at people and stuff, and breaking out windows. When I
in the very first, the break. No, that's gameplay, man. I mean, it's like
gameplay now. You can officially say that is gay, because people did not truly know, because they really didn't speak on it. But now you see that, dude, all that stuff you saw in that original trailer was all gameplay. It makes my heart feel so blessed to know that they actually went out and did attention to detail like that on that type of level, because that's the thing that I'm going to remember the most about the game when I play it. The story can be whatever, but just the ability to go around and pretty much manipulate the game the way you want it to be done. I can just see people doing separate playthroughs of trying to like be flawless in their execution of getting through the map. You make it look as real as possible instead of it looking like video gaming and stuff. I can see people really doing that in this game, and man, I can't wait.
Yo, Forte, Ryan Landis has a question for you. Wants to know if you think it was running on a PC or not.
No, they said it was running on the PlayStation, sir.
Okay, we're just checking because you said something.
That game was coming to PC.
Huh?
Did they say that game was coming to PC?
Not yet.
Not
or
yet.
Not,
I'm sure it will.
As of right now, it was running on a PlayStation.
Yeah,
well,
I'm sure it will come to PC though at some point though. Like it
will, but
yeah.
as of right now,
and that's gonna be the best
that.
play to play that version of the game. By the way.
Oh Lord, wait, what? Are you on PCMR again now, or are you still?
Come on, man! I'm always PCMR. That's never gonna change, sir. Especially after that conversation we had with Red Gaming Tech this past Saturday. By the way, big shout out to Paul from Red Gaming Tech. If you haven't checked out that podcast, it was a awesome podcast, I might add. Very insightful. Definitely check that out.
I didn't need Red.
Is it your 1 month anniversary of being PCMR?
Hey, let me tell you something. Y'all want to hate when the man's on the mountaintop and he's enjoying his gaming experience.
I'm just
like it's like.
Let me tell you something. Sometimes people discover Jesus later on in life. It happens.
Man,
it's called born again. I'm a born again gamer.
Oh man,
I just got the realization that Enrique's feelings about things change like Michigan weather.
Let me tell you something, Forte. That is not true. That is not true. So that is slander. You have no evidence or facts to back that up. But I will say this though.
What? No facts, no evidence.
No, no facts. Look,
all I gotta do is look at your Twitter profile and every month it's a different narrative.
Hey, Forte. That's like you saying that you don't push Xboxes on people at GameStop. Look, my point is this.
If I push Xboxes on people, Xbox will have way more systems. So,
well, from your one store alone,
your one store alone, man. Your store. You're the little engine that could, man, with Xbox.
I know.
Look, I will say this. I was very impressed by this, by what Naughty Dog showed us. Like this is like how you like show gameplay, right? This is how you reveal a game. I thought it was cool that Neil Druckmann acknowledged the times we're living in right now, the unique circumstances. That this is not how exactly they wanted to do this, but it is what it is. But the violence thing. Let me ask you guys something: are people? Because I was thinking about this. Would people be okay with the level of violence if it was a man doing this, as opposed to a female protagonist doing this?
But when people are not okay with the level of violence,
yeah,
I haven't seen that.
A lot of people are against it. Level of violence that they have.
Go ahead, B.
A lot of people have been speaking out, saying like the game is like too violent, or it's like much violence for no reason. I mean,
I would say this, this is fresh in my mind because I played the game recently. You guys remember Spec Ops: The Line?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that game, bro! Woo.
That game is brutal, and it's one of those games when you finish it, you kind of just gotta sit alone for a minute and kind of just get your mind right because it's pretty far out there. And hey, all men doing really, really violent stuff. I don't think it's a gender thing that like, if it was a man, people would be complaining about the violence. Because I seen that game, and that game was like, I mean, people were definitely complaining about the level of violence as well as civilians being I forgot what kind of chemical weapon they used on it, but like illegal chemical weapons you're not even supposed to use in war being used on civilians and seeing the aftermath of it and stuff like that. Like it's pretty violent, and some of the ways people are killed in that game are pretty pretty out there. So I think just any kind of time when we see like and take like the one trailer where we saw Ellie like really like cutting this guy's throat, and it's not like usually in a game you see it's like a quick slash, right? They even do that in movies where it's a quick cut to the throat, and it's happened and it's done, and they may show some blood, but it's not as like gruesome as that scene where she's like digging in there, she's really cutting this guy, like almost decapitating the dude. It's just like you don't quite see that. You don't see that in video games. You don't really see much of that in movies either. And so it's just that level of violence, that realism in it that really kind of puts people takes people aback. I get it. I don't really care for it. I'm here for it regardless. But
right.
Yeah, I mean, I to Enrique's point about that's how you show gameplay. for what Sony has done with Ghost of Tsushima last week and The Last of Us 2 this week. This is how I want big AAA games to be shown from now on. Like Halo Infinite, Microsoft need to be right now working on how to do this, do that for Halo Infinite, for Hellblade 2, Fable, all of them. This is how Ubisoft should have showed Assassin's Creed Valhalla on Inside Xbox. This is how you show it. You have a developer talk you through some things with the gameplay, explain some things so that everyone is clear on how the game's supposed to be played or what their focus is, and then you just shut up and show gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's how you do it.
You shut up.
That's how
gameplay.
You sell a game.
No, but seriously, I think some of the violence. I really do think maybe I shouldn't say think. I think maybe perhaps that if this was a male protagonist, though, I don't think people would have, like B said, like wouldn't have issues with the level of violence. This is a very violent game. I mean, hats off to Sony, by the way, of killing the last odor of the PlayStation Vita in The Last of Us 2. I don't know if you guys saw that.
We were talking about.
Oh, you guys talked about it, so I missed it then when I was timed out because my fucking internet connection sucks. Thank you, Comcast. But I tell you what, guys, Sony is ending this console generation with a big bang, and I'm like, how am I gonna? We got back-to-back potential bangers here. We have Ghosts of I forget how Kofi pronounced it.
Tsushima.
And The Last of Us 2.
Mm-hmm.
And what amazes me is that and I'm not trying to go console war here, but I will say this: it amazes me what people.
Oh yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
You caveated it, sir, so you are.
Okay.
So
no. I just think it's very interesting how people downplay Sony, like especially with the PlayStation 5. Well, they're not transparent. We haven't heard anything. I'm like, yeah, but it's like like Paul said. Paul knows they're getting beat up on social media. Paul said this on the special Brap edition on Saturday. He knows they're getting beat up on social media, but he's like, they don't care because they're in the driving seat. They have a history of putting out great content. So
yeah, that's always going to be there, though. Until I don't think we'll ever get to a normal where people look at these consoles on an equal playing field. I think PlayStation gamers will always look at Xbox games as inferior and look at their player base as people that accept inferior, and that's just the nature of it. I think Xbox people are always going to think Xbox people are going to probably support PlayStation games because they just want to play games or whatever. But I also think it's just a simple fact that they're tired of always having their games put down by people on the PlayStation side, which, to their point, I understand. It's like more of a give and take thing. It's like you got people like whenever Xbox has really good news, they want to, shout to the moons about it. PlayStation people hate hearing it. They've been hearing for the last 4 or 5 months that PlayStation's been too quiet. And why would you want to be? Why you want to support a platform that doesn't even want to show you what's going on with their system? And for the people that have been patient out there, Sony has finally showed them 2 bangers. They showed them Ghost of Tsushima and they showed them Last of Us. They both look amazing, and they're coming back at them like Xbox dead on arrival. It's going to be a back and forth. It's never going to change until people look at these systems at equal, and that kind of will never happen. It's just par for the course at this point. I just think overall, when I saw the gameplay, that I've been saying this for months now, Microsoft has they did a really good job, but they have a really big hill to climb in the next month and a half to 2 months.
Well, I don't think it's more than a month to 2 months, man. I think it's the next couple of years.
No, I'm just saying. I'm talking about we can only go. This is the thing, and that's another thing. I don't want to. We as gamers, we have to look at what's next. We can't keep projecting what is coming in the next year to 2 to 3 years or stuff like that. We got to project what's next. So for Microsoft, how are they going to answer the barrage of Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima within the next 2 months.
They're not going
They have a reveal event coming up, 1 or 2 of them. That's going to be the opportunity they have to do it. Now, is Microsoft going to do that? No one knows. And that's going to be the thing that a lot of people on the Xbox side are going to be looking forward to. But that's also what people on the PlayStation side, they're going to be like, let's see what Microsoft's going to give the other console, the peasants that don't think that PlayStation is better. They're already going into it with a negative connotation about the situation. So over the course of the next month, a lot of this stuff is going to pan itself out. But if Microsoft does not deliver on that first party front, be ready for this next generation to be more of this generation. Especially, I think Microsoft will do better. They'll sell better, definitely, because I think they got the studios to help them do better. But in the eyes of what people play on PlayStation for, it won't be enough if they don't see compelling first-party games that can at least rival or at least be equal to what you get on the other platform. And as of right now, that has not happened. Let's hope Microsoft does that in the next 2 months.
Well, see, the thing is, like, we've been talking about this on this podcast, and you know, some people listen, some people don't. But we've been saying you kind of have one who can't wait for the generation to be over to move on to their next thing, but you have the other who still has things to show in the generation.
Exactly.
And everyone's like, well, Sony's being quiet. Well, what do they need to say yet? Because they still have 2 big games that they need to promote and make money on. Where, you know, Microsoft is in a different position. They're trying to hit the ground running to prepare for what's coming next for them. You know? So that's why I kind of always laugh too when people would say, like, you know, well, how long are we supposed to give Sony, like, being quiet? How long are we supposed to give them? So you give them what we had since 2013, 7 years of people, you know, giving Microsoft every opportunity. I mean, the meme of, you know, wait till next E3 and this and that. It's like, if you're willing to wait for the platform that you're into, what are you sitting there questioning other people waiting to hear, you know, what the next thing is? And again, like people saying in the chat, you have a company who for almost 30 years now has proven that they know what they're doing when it comes to the console space. So you give them the accord and you say, hey, we'll sit it's their ball to drop. That's plain and simple. People don't like hearing that. You know, they like to play the whole, well, what have you done for me lately? And it's like, no, we don't want to play that card either. You know?
Yeah, I think that's why people come to this podcast, because this has been a narrative that we've been talking about for the last like half a year. You know, the whole picture hasn't been painted yet, and Sony has the last word. And the one thing that really comes out of this is games speak louder than anything. I don't care how powerful your system is. I don't care about how powerful all that stuff is. The only things that can sway you are the friends you play with, because they are the ones that you enjoy these games with the most. Would I enjoy Minecraft Dungeons as much as, like, could I be playing it on PC at a better frame rate, better resolution and everything, ultra wide? Absolutely. All that stuff would have been great on an ultra wide monitor, see more of the map and everything. But I had fun playing it because of, I was playing with Addict, I was playing with Tim Dog, we played with King David for a second. So that was a surreal experience. That's one way to incorporate the people that you know, the ecosystem you like playing in. The main way to do it is through the games. And Sony has 2 bangers that's coming out that's going to do that for now.
Yeah, Forte, do you still have Minecraft Dungeons installed on your Xbox?
Yep, sure do.
I've already installed it on my PC.
I never installed it on my PC.
Well, I mean, look, I played through it on PC.
Actually, no, I did
it solo.
On my PC. I do have it.
I mean, I did it solo. There was no one else I saw online to play it with, and played through it. I mean, I had fun for what it was, but once I was done with the main story, I just didn't feel the need to go into other with adventure mode, which is the next higher level. I'm just like, you know what?
You played it on PC?
Yeah.
So that's a good point. Do you think it would have probably been giving you a reason probably to keep it installed if you probably played it on Xbox with people that you know?
It's not necessarily. It's not just the Xbox. It's just that there was no one playing it when I was playing it. Like, I mean, there are people who are just straight PC people. They get in Discords with other people, and they just do Discord chat, and that's how they talk to everyone, and they still play their games together. Like, you can play with other people on PC. It's just that if you've just converted to PC, or you just converted to a different ecosystem. Like for example, like I mean, I have my PlayStation 4. I play games on it. Primarily, like 95% of the games I play on my PS4 are single player games. I have some multiplayer games that my brother-in-laws and my cousins are always like, yeah, we need to get up and play this. And I got it. And we don't never play it together. But it's right. Like it's you know, when you play with friends, depending on where your friends are, that's where your ecosystem is. So it makes sense that you played it on Xbox, you played it with some people, you still want to continue to keep playing it, and you're having fun with it. But like if you're playing it, like I think just in that game in particular, because it's so light on content, that once you really complete it, unless you're done with it, unless you got some other friends to play with, maybe help them through it and just kind of get back and have some fun. At this point, there's just no more left for me to do.
Yeah, I agree, because I'll be 100% transparent on that. So when I put my tweet up yesterday, the first time I played it, I played the first 2 missions by myself. I said, dude, this game is actually pretty fun. But then I started thinking, like, am I going to play this by myself long term? Because normally that's what I do. I don't play too many games with other people a lot like that. But as soon as I tweeted that, Addict sent me a message. It was like, hey, bro, jump in here with us, because they were just in there doing two player. So I jumped in with them, and oh my God, it's like just the game became fun because of the stuff we were doing in the game, and just the synergistic nature of playing with other people in a loot-based game like that became like the game just became the vehicle to have fun and conversate with your friends.
Do you think that game is designed really to be played co-op? It wasn't
absolutely.
Yeah, because I mean, there's certain skills that you get and or weapons that you'll get that are like the perk of like a legendary weapon is for team building. It's like, oh, if you get an 8% chance to heal your team every time you use this weapon. I'm like, what team? I'm rolling solo dolo.
Yeah, I know. It was a hammer that I had that did that. It was like as you leveled it up and you put in the currency for it, it gave you like a 100% chance or 140% chance, and whenever you killed or hit an enemy with it, it gave it healed you and your party members around you with it. And you're absolutely right. I just think that when people say the game is easy, and I'm not trying to say the game is definitely easy if you play it by yourself, especially if you're playing on lower levels, but the game is geared for you to play it with other people, because that's where the difficulty in that game is. Like, we were playing three player, or in some places 4 player, and dude, we were dying to stupid things in like medium setting, because it's literally scaling up to like scaling all the enemies.
So it's like Borderlands. Like the more people you add, the stronger the enemies become.
The stronger the enemies get, and that's even at lower levels. You turn because I was saying the same thing. I was seeing people on Twitter talk about it. It's like, man, this game is hard. And I started asking. I said, are you playing in a group or by yourself? So, I'm playing in a group of 4. I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Well, maybe I'll install it on the Xbox and play it with some people. But
you jump on the Xbox, I'll play it with. Dude, you know me. I this has opened my eyes.
Wait, is it cross save? Because if I gotta start all over again, that's a negative. I'm not doing that.
So Windows Central, I'll actually before the show is over, I'll let you know, because I still have it installed on my PC too, so I can see if my account comes over. Windows Central says it is. They say it's cross-play, cross-save. I haven't heard anybody say it is, but Windows Central did say it is.
Well, I mean, I can go ahead and like have my Xbox remote install it now, and then once the podcast is over.
Yeah, I'm actually going to see in a second on my PC, because I have it installed. If it pulls my account over, then I know. But yeah, dude, if you do it, jump over, and I'll definitely jump in there with you. But this just remind me that the only reason I play Destiny as much as I play it is because it's not even a game. It's because I like the people that I play with, and those are the people I play with predominantly on multiplayer. If you give a game a chance in multiplayer and you hook up with other people that you like playing with, any game will be fun. Now, this isn't trying to downplay Sony first party or anything like that, because I think their first party, their single player narratives are the best in the business. And that is what Microsoft has to fight against. So they have to find a way to capture first party single player narrative games that PlayStation gamers enjoy for the last 3 decades almost.
I do think they're focusing on that with well, not really Fable, because Fable is its own IP that's a little bit different. Yeah. But I think Compulsion's next game that's supposed to be a AAA third-person perspective game. I think that is the kind of game that's going to kind of focus in that kind of genre, in that kind of vein. Whether Compulsion can do that or not remains to be seen. I think they've yet to really prove themselves. But I mean, we had a conversation about this last year about, you know, them really owning up to how We Happy Few did not live up to expectations and where they went wrong. So I kind of feel like if they're going to make it better, do better with their next game, they're on the right path, which is owning it, knowing where you messed up, and then now it's like executing on making it, you know, making sure you don't make those mistakes again. So right. I mean, we'll see, but they have I in some ways I want them to kind of take some features or some things that work with Sony first party and emulate those things, and then some other ways I kind of wish they would just chart their own path. Like, you don't have to be like, I go to Sony for that kind of stuff, and I don't really need that from you. I just need quality from you.
But Slomo, everybody out here sits here and says that that's why they don't buy games on that. They don't buy Xboxes, because they don't get those experiences that they get on Sony. And I always tell them, I was like, you shouldn't want an Xbox for the same reason you got a PlayStation.
I don't think those people mean that I need to get exactly what I get from Sony. Exactly. I think what they're talking about is the level of quality. And when they're specifically talking about the level of quality that you get with like a Horizon Zero Dawn, what you get from God of War.
Graphical fidelity, basically.
Uncharted 4, The Last of Us. Yes, those games. They want that level of quality. It doesn't have to be the same genre, right, but it just needs to be at that level where it is, you know, without a doubt, the best game for this particular genre. And that's what you would expect from a first-party developer that should have really way more budget and more time than a lot of these third-party developers get. So, yeah.
You know, it comes out to the console, you know, how to get the best out of it.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
Like, why is it that third-party developers are getting more out of the console that is owned by the first party?
Right.
I mean, it's a question that you should ask any first party. The first party should always maximize everything about the console.
First party doesn't matter, B.
Man, it matters at every time.
Yeah, you got people out there saying, B, wait, you got
people surviving on first party alone.
B, but you got people out there saying first party doesn't matter because most people play third party games. What do you have to say to that, B?
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Most people do buy third-party games. Everybody plays Call of Duty. A selling game every year. But guess what? If everybody didn't have first-party and we was all just playing on, you know what I mean, random consoles, it wouldn't matter. There wouldn't be a PlayStation or there wouldn't be an Xbox. We all had the same fucking console playing all the same damn games.
We all be gaming on PC.
Yeah.
I do think... I do agree about maximizing the hardware, and that doesn't always mean, oh, you guys talk about photorealistic games. Like, you don't have to do photorealistic if you want to be like Rare, and you have a certain cartoonish or a particular art style. If you're not going to maximize the hardware and adding more pixels and everything to make those characters photorealistic, then at least use that additional memory that you are not using and have it go towards the world environment, game design, AI. Do something with it, you know, to make sure that this game is something that you're not going to get anywhere else.
Yeah, you got every first party game should be a standout game,
right?
Whether it's a AA game or a AAA game, or, you know what I mean, whatever you want to classify it as. If it's a first party game, it should be a standout game.
I won't disagree with you on that.
I will not disagree with that one bit. B Money. Let me ask you guys something, because there's some news coming out from Jason Schreier today that PlayStation 5 will have a big showcase. And by the way, I'm not going to say anything, but Forte and Slow-Mo were there. We were chatting. Yo, so Sony's got some things in the oven, right? Did you guys agree with that?
Oh yeah. We ain't
stuff.
supposed to talk about stuff like that, man. We on.
Well, we're not giving specifics, but we're just saying
we know some things are in the pipeline. It looks great for everyone.
It looks really great, by the way.
Yeah. But I mean, we can't talk in specifics. Just just know it's going to be some nice things that you're going to hear really soon.
Yeah, no, it really is, and it just yeah. Wow. So Jason Schreier tweeted out that there is potential of a reveal event happening for PlayStation 5 on June 3rd now, and I don't know if did you guys see this tweet out? Somebody sent this to me today. I think it was Talus. I think that he's DM'd me. Apparently, there's a European PlayStation magazine that leaked out incoming PlayStation 5 games. Did you guys see this? Showed games that are in the launch window: Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Dirt 5, FIFA 21, Godfall, Madden 21, NHL 21, Observer System Redo, Rainbow Six Siege. I can't read some of these things because it's Red All Enhanced Edition. Hold on a second, guys.
Yeah, just put your other glasses on.
Ultimate Fishing Simulator 2, Warframe, and WRC 9. So, oh shit, Forte. I mean, Slow-Mo.
Yo,
that
which
dude.
one? Who? What?
Sorry, hey Slow-Mo. That dude that was wanted in Connecticut. Captured in Maryland.
Wait, what are you talking about? What?
You hear about that dude in that UConn student who went on a killing spree?
No.
Yo, you didn't hear about this?
This was today?
Yeah, dude. So okay, he was all right. So college student from Connecticut, and 2 Connecticut slangs is captured. He killed 2 people, right? Stole a bunch of cars, robbed some places. He was caught in Hagerstown, Maryland, dude.
That's wow.
Yeah, that's breaking news. I only bring it up because we live in MD. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why I bring it up. Not because it's really big news, but big news maybe for us. Anyhow, and that kept popping up on my Twitter feed this week. So, the last couple of days. But so those are some of the games, and apparently, so I know Jeff Grubb from I forget the I'm drawing a blank here. VentureBeat talked about the PlayStation 5 event, maybe Sony scaling some game reveals back. But let me ask you guys, how important is this reveal for PlayStation 5? Like, do they need to show us the console? Do they have to give us a price? Do they got to show us a big AAA banger? What do you guys think? I mean, do you think they're going to...
It's important, but it's not like the end all be all, right? It's like in November, October, whenever this system releases, because it is releasing this year, Forte. When it does release, no one's going to be like, you know what? I remember back in June when that reveal just, it just didn't sit right with me. I'm just going to pass up on this system because of something that I didn't like in June. Like, no one's really going to be thinking about this event in June, but it can definitely, for the hardcore audience, really get them engaged and excited for what is to come. Especially if they do what they've done, like in the last half of the PS4 generation, where they showed games that weren't going to come out for a few years, but that level of hype and the excitement that they generated from that was able to carry the Sony community on for years, and in anticipation of what was to come. And that's that excitement, that confidence in the brand is something that they need to continue with this. I would like to see games that probably ain't coming out to 2022, 2023. Do that. I'm fine with it. Just as long as it still lets me know, well, why am I buying the PS5? Like, don't let it be because of Godfall and Quantum Error.
So they need
two devs that I don't even know anything about, right? Like, it needs to be more than that. So like, show me more. So
you're saying they need to show you a banger, even if it's 2 years away. Then,
yeah, hell yeah! I've been saying that for years. I've been saying Xbox should have did that. I don't disagree with you, what they're starting to do, because like Hellblade 2 ain't coming out until like 2022. Yeah. So that's good that they started to do that too. But like, yeah, that's how you build excitement. You get people excited for what your brand has in store. They don't know what's coming down the pipeline. What is the purpose of getting your system or keeping it? If you already have it, if you don't know what else you're going to be playing on it outside of the typical third-party games that everyone plays. So, yeah, show me something that's not going to be out for a while. Just as long as, it's exciting and it's something that I definitely want to play, yeah, go for it.
All right. Nah, that's...
I remember people trying to hold that as a bad thing, though. I don't know if you guys remember that. They'd be
yes,
like, but we ain't going to see those games for like another few. Like, so I know what's coming, though.
But Eric, Eric,
Eric,
to your point, though, people even criticize Sony about that. Oh, well, they don't start off the generation, hot. You got to wait.
Yeah, but see, that's
anybody girl out to go out there and brag. I'm saying anybody girl go out there and brag that you bust too quick.
Yeah.
I love him. Oh my god, we get started and it's over before we get started.
Oh my god,
damn,
wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Forte said, "Damn."
Look, we gotta get out of this mode.
Right there, man.
We gotta get out of this mode where just because things happen before doesn't mean they're definitely going to happen. Like, because like that's how people got tripped up with this first half of the year. Like, oh well, Sony's definitely going to show something in February. Why? Because in 2013 in February they showed something. Well, I mean that was 2013 with people who not even in charge now. So,
and the funny thing with that too,
what's the guy doing now?
Right. And the funny thing with that too is it's like it seems like it's okay for one to make all the changes in the world, but the other has to hold to what they've always done. You notice that? It's like only so and so can't evolve. We have to keep it the same way, but we want change. Don't keep it the same way. We want to see something different. We want to change, but don't change this. We want this. It's, you know what I'm saying? And all this revolves around. And the reason I think things are always so jacked up because all of it revolves around people trying to monetize, social media it, YouTube it, content create it, and that's why everybody can't stop and shut up for a minute.
Right. Nothing can ever change. That's why we still got people out here still saying Xbox got no games, and it's like they got games. Like,
they
didn't have games 3 years ago. Yeah, like there was nothing to play. There's like a game every other day coming out on it now. You may not like those games, but they're there. So it's just like. Yeah, these people, they don't have any foresight. They don't have any ability, or they're too afraid to take an L and just say, well, I think this might happen. I think this might be different. No, they just try to play it safe and say, the same things that happened before will happen now. It kind of common sense stuff because that's safe and no one ever, comes at them for that.
Yeah.
Or they go with sorry, we got to say this real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Or they go with whatever the platform they prefer. They go with everything that they do as gospel. Everything is the way. Like, oh, this is the way. Like, I think BG actually mentioned he had somebody tell him, "Yeah, I don't really want to be sold games anymore." Like, what?
Wait, what?
He didn't want to be sold games anymore because that's not the way it should be done anymore because of Game Pass subscription stuff. Yeah, I don't really want to be sold games anymore. Something like that to that effect. And I'm like, what? Wait, what?
Hey, real quick. Hey, I gotta get this real quick, guys. I gotta get this super chat from my good buddy, our good friend, One Bad Mother, who's with a $5 super chat. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. It says between Paul, John, and Optimus, your show has been the premier spot for balanced next gen talk. Congrats on the excellent interview Saturday. Hey, OBM, that means a lot, man. Thank you so much for those kind words. Look, like we don't try to like fanboy out. Some of the people think we're ponies because we've been critical of Microsoft, but like we're critical out of love. Like let me tell you something. You understand being critical out of love if you have children. You're hard on your children, not because you don't like them, because you love them. You want to see them succeed. You want to, see them do right. That's why every once in a while you throw a chocolate at them.
I don't know, man. I don't like my kids sometimes.
Yeah, my kids.
Sometimes, bro.
Sometimes you be like, man.
Sometimes, man.
I would say we're hard on everyone when it's necessary.
Yep.
And really, I got some smoke for Nintendo. I was going to have some smoke for Nintendo. I might end up getting the Xenogears.
Are you talking about that? That 540 and 720 docked.
Yeah, I think I might copy it though.
You know what, Slow-Mo? I played that game. Remember, I got it when it first came out the first time before the definitive, and that thing was like 320 and 240.
Yeah.
And performance sucked. But so I do have the game, and the performance, I will be happy to say, is night and day. It is very playable. No stuttering, no breakups. Well, the only problem I got is that 540 and 720p docked, but I wouldn't play that on the TV. Just play.
Well, I mean, it's a Switch. I mean, like 720p dock or not. The
720p docked is pretty bad, bro.
The max you're going to get on a Switch docked is like 900 to 1080p at the most. So it's just like look. I just need something to play on my Switch because at this point, I may have played a total of 2 or 3 hours on my Switch this year. It's been my least played platform, and I know. Look, and that's just me because Nintendo has definitely been killing it for like the usual Nintendo fan. Like freaking Animal Crossing is crack.
Sure is. Got some bells.
They got this Mario origami game coming out. I'm pretty sure people are going to buy that up, and I don't know what else because I'm not into Nintendo first party, obviously. So like I could care less about those kind of games, but they've been really delivering it. But like when I bought the Switch, it was because they were getting great second party games that were made by third party developers, but they were exclusive to the Switch. That's when I was like, yeah, I got to get that. And I ain't really seen too much of that this year. So
I need you to be Crafted World, sir. Show Yoshi love.
Show who?
Show Yoshi love, man.
Nah, man, I ain't down for no
transition too, man. They've been shaking stuff up over there. There's been a lot of executive change over there. So
yeah.
Be quiet this year. This is a transition year for them.
So
we got to see what the fall looks like because usually by now they be talking a lot. We see a couple of directs. We haven't seen any directs.
Yep, they've been really light on the directs.
I mean, they haven't talked about Zelda 2. Haven't talked about anything. So,
yo, you said it's a transition year. I need them to transition into some game reveals. Like, give me
that Mario origami thing, like out of nowhere. Like nobody knew that was coming. They was like, all right, we got something coming in July. Here you go.
Do you got Mario Kart, Slow-Mo?
No. Hell no. I mean, I own it for
Mario Kart's good, man.
DS because my son. My son loves Mario Kart. He has it on his DS, but me no.
So are you like basically saying that so you making your kids play on DS and he can be playing the greatest Mario Kart game ever?
No, I need him to be responsible before I give him a Switch. That DS gets lost every other week. So
that DS is also the size of a wallet.
Hey, I need some responsibility out of my 10-year-old before I buy him a Switch. Especially in these times where a Switch is like the cost of an Xbox One X right now. So
Switches are $200. Get him the light. That's all he needs.
Oh, that's the one I wanted to give him, but they've been simultaneously either sold out or costing way too much for some reason and aftermarket stuff. But
$200.
Look, I'll get him one eventually when he proves to me that he can be responsible with it and not lose it or break it. But as far as like Nate in the chat, like Nintendo first party is really not my bag. So I own one because, like, as you guys remember, I got mine when they showed Ultimate Alliance 3, and I've kept it and played it like probably played the most out of any other platform last year due to Ultimate Alliance 3 and Fire Emblem Three Houses. So it's really not their first party games that really interest me, but they're really strong partnerships with other third parties who drop some really amazing games that really got me hooked. But so far this year,
did you play Bayonetta 2 on there?
No.
So good.
I gotta get back to Astral Chain. Now that I think about it, you bringing up a platinum game. I gotta finish Astral Chain. That's damn. Yeah. Okay. I mean, maybe I do have a reason to play it, but it's just the Switch is. It's just not. I don't know, man. I don't have enough time in the world for all these platforms, so it's been collecting dust on my desk for months now. Oh. I'm sorry. I guess that was a massive tangent. Back to the PS5 reveal. So do you guys think? Okay, so there is this talk that like they're not going to show too much in June, but then they're going to show like everything else. I'm hearing they're not even going to reveal the console in June. They're going to reveal it in August. What do you guys think about that?
I said this on Crossfire. If you don't hear about a system reveal by the end of July, that system's not coming out this year.
Keep trying to tell y'all this is the new way of how they reveal tech.
I don't disagree.
Go in any other form of tech. How they do it.
That is true. That is true.
So what do you think is too late, B?
You can show it whenever. If as long as manufactured, it don't matter when they show it. They can show it a week before it come out.
I did say that, but I'm just
but they got to get pre-orders, though, B. I mean, like, right?
They can put the pre-orders up whenever.
Man, Apple shows a trash iPhone that got no features over the previous year's iPhone. Literally less than a year from the last iPhone. Pre-order now. Is out in a week, and the pre-orders will be sold out.
Exactly. So if people want it, people gonna pre-order it. It don't matter when they announce that.
Hey, B,
they announce it in July for pre-orders to be sold out.
B, Kendrick Starr says they scared of Microsoft.
Oh Lord!
What?
That's not true.
When has Microsoft beat them?
What?
Why has Microsoft ever won?
Oh my God! Not like that, B.
He ain't lying.
Microsoft got to get in the ring first. Get in the ring first.
Hey man, Sony walked into the console game selling 100,000. Second time around, sold 150,000.
You mean 100 million? They sold 100 million the first time.
Yeah, 100 million. Yeah, first time in 100 million. Second time in 150 million. Third time in, a little bit of a fall, 86 million, 87 million. Now they back over 120. Reportedly over 120 million. So
Microsoft look like they're trying to step in the ring this time. I mean, this is the first time.
Oh no, I can't say that now. They stepped in the ring with the 360. The only problem was
they stepped in for a man and they jumped out. It's like any generation for Microsoft. They always start off really well. Have the great first party at the beginning of the generation. Guess what? That money started coming in, and they're like, you know what? Let's rock with these third parties, man. We ain't gotta worry about them towards the end of the generation. Let these third parties rock out, and people came. They bought our console. They good. They can show up next generation.
Well, how much of that was a symptom to just the lackluster amount of studios they had? I mean, kind of when you don't have a lot of studios.
Hey, hold on. Let me ask you something.
Schedules.
Okay, let me ask you something.
I'm listening.
Made Bloodborne.
Okay.
Hey, what? Who made it? Software. Yeah. Is that a first party?
It is. It's technically. It's not even a second party.
Okay. It's an exclusive game that was made on.
Yeah, you're right.
PlayStation, right? Yeah. One of the better games that are made on PlayStation, correct?
I mean, probably one of the best.
Okay. So why is it that we keep throwing these excuses about first
Well,
party?
Microsoft did that too, though. Like, you can't say Microsoft has exclusive rights to Mass Effect for 3 years.
Okay, and what happened after
And
that?
then they had what, Dead
Like
Rising?
I just said, they start off great at the beginning, and then what happened? What happened after that?
Well, no, they kept third party throughout the whole generation. Microsoft first party, they relented in 2011 pretty much. They said no Moss in 2011. I mean, we can't say that they didn't at least put they put an effort forward with the Xbox 360. You know, I mean, you had a whole bunch of Japanese support.
They fizzled out at the end, like I just said.
Yeah, but like I said, but there's context to that. Like, I can understand if they had the amount of studio Sony has during that time, I'll be like, dude, they just quit. But
how many studios does PlayStation have?
They got 14 studios.
14,
but not all of them make games for PlayStation.
Not all of them. Yeah, they got about 8 or 9 that makes games for PlayStation.
And really about 5 or 6 of them is games that people talk about.
Right.
So like everybody keeps saying like, oh, you know what I mean, Microsoft had this first party problem. If you look at the games that came out of PlayStation, what are the noble studios everybody talks about?
Yeah, hey, real quick, guys. I don't know.
You can name the 14 studios that PlayStation has.
All right.
Yeah. Hey,
I can't disagree with you. Go ahead.
Real quick, guys. We typically like to read things in color, by the way.
Oh Lord, here we go.
But Kendrick Star says Xbox got power. They got the devs now. Game Pass, xCloud. This is way different than last gen.
Exactly what I just said. They're ready to step in the ring.
This is different than last gen. Now they just
they're ready to step in with the first party.
Well, now they need to deliver in games though. That's the big question mark. Can they deliver?
They delivered in games before. They did, like, that's the part that I agree with E on. They delivered with games before. They just stopped at the end of last generation, pretty much. You know, it's pretty much been basically opened up the sale and let's hope
they stopped in the middle of this generation.
Yeah. Like you said, they did the same exact thing.
Started really this generation, honestly. I mean,
they came out of the gate so hard with 360. Like it was definitely
360 was hard. But then you also got to think the release schedule. Which one do you think has a better release schedule? Do you think the way that Sony has their release schedule is better than what Microsoft does? Because Microsoft tends to like have a lot of good stuff at the beginning. So
see, this kind of goes back to what I was saying a few minutes ago about how we always kind of like fall back into like, well, the things that happened before or what's always going to happen.
Right.
Yeah, in the past, it's been Sony has kind of like gathered up steam throughout the generation, and Microsoft was kind of like started out strong and then faltered. But now you got literally like they've said to their investors, we want to drop a game every quarter. Like that's the goal. Not necessarily a AAA game, but a game from us every quarter. They are, and to the guys Kendrick Starr's point, yeah, it is different this gen. Every single person on this panel has said, yeah, it's going to be different this gen for them. They have a different approach to things. So I think the whole faltering in the like, unless these studios aren't going to be around in 5 years.
Oh Lord, I remember Slow-Mo made a.
God forbid that happens, but
you like say something about that before. He's like, I hope these studios stay around.
Yeah, I mean, look. It's a fact of the business. It's just that if you have it like, and it doesn't matter if you're a first party studio, you think you got some job security. I mean, you know, you're going to have to deliver to stay around. Whether you're Microsoft or Sony, Sony has killed more studios this gen than Microsoft. So. It's a fact of life. If you don't deliver on games, you're going to get downsized because there's no purpose in wasting money on you.
So you think all the studios are going to be in for the long haul, and that's not reality.
Right? Yeah. Reality is they could add 3 more and maybe lose 2. You know, but by next gen, you know, like this time next gen, it could be. look a little different in the landscape, or maybe one of them goes off on their own like Bungie. We don't know. Like, we don't know how it's all going to turn out. But what I do know for the fact is that they tripled their first party content. They have a publishing arm that's actually doing its job again, which is getting third party developers to make exclusive games for them. We've seen that with Donut, and they said that they got more coming in the pipeline. I like to see things like that. That's being competitive for your platform.
Like I said.
You
say, like I said. I'm saying everything I just said like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, guys, I gotta get a $5 super chat. Gamer by Choice, thank you, Gamer by Choice, with the awesome super chat. We appreciate it. It says Xbox had a management problem. I enjoy them, but Xbox need to get people that are passionate about gaming. I think they're on the right track. I would agree with that. I think they're definitely on the right track. I know people think that we bash Microsoft all the time. We don't. It's we want them to be successful, and I do think that they are on the right track for right now. The only thing I would say is that they just need to deliver games. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. Power, features, all that crap doesn't mean anything unless you have quality content on the system. That's always been the case, always will be the case. And we'll see what they bring to the table with the Xbox Series X. So, I'm sorry, Slimmer, were you about to chime in before we got the super chat?
Yeah, I mean, it's a moot point. I think we're all in agreement. I did have a question for you guys was, what do you think are going to be games that we may see, like, as like just your idea, your theory or your prediction of what kind of games that we may see revealed in June for the PS5?
That's a good question. Like, I haven't even really.
Are we going to see the? So, first of all, do we think we're going to see the system in June?
No.
So we're going to see that later. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to show hardware.
They want to show. My understanding is they want to show the actual system, what it's actually going to be with games running on it. So who knows if that happens in June or later on? Who knows?
Well, I mean, they can show games running on a PS5, and they don't have to show the hardware.
I mean, that's true, but I
think people just want to. I don't know. It's like you're divorced from. You can show the games without showing hardware first. It just feels like it's kind of divorced from it if you don't know what the system is. I mean, it's weird, but I don't know. It just seems like you would want to show people what the system is, and then get them excited for the things that they're going to play on that system after you revealed it. But I mean, either way works. I mean, they have to do what works for their content drop schedule, and if the system isn't ready to be shown, they got to at least get the games out there to get people excited in one way or another.
Yeah, I think two games. I think we're going to see. I think Blue Point Games is working on a remake of Demon Souls, and I think we're going to see that. And I also think, I think just Horizon Zero Dawn is kind of like too easy to say, but I would say I think we're either going to see a second party game from either House Marquee or Supermassive Games.
I think Supermassive Games is a lock.
Yeah. I think I heard like over a year ago they were definitely in development for another exclusive Sony on PlayStation 5 game. Whether it's Until Dawn 2 or not, who knows? I hope it is, but
I think they're gonna. I think Guerrilla is gonna wait to show HZD 2 when they finally get the date knocked down for when the first one's coming to PC.
Well, they got a second studio that's working on another game, which everyone thinks is Killzone because of the kind of people they've been adding. So they've been adding people from Ubisoft who worked on Rainbow Six Siege. You know, people who work on multiplayer games, basically, what they've been adding to that team. So people are just automatically assume it must be a multiplayer game, and considering who Guerrilla is, it must be Killzone, right? So that might be something they may show, but I don't think that'll be like a launch game.
No, I don't know.
Whatever Guerrilla is working on, I don't think HZZ is going to be the first thing that they show.
Yeah,
No,
I can see that too. Yeah.
I think the
Yeah,
shooter is going to be the first thing that they show, just because they want to. They always like whatever Guerrilla's working on as far as a shooter is concerned. So whether it's Killzone or SOCOM or whatever they're working on, I think that's going to be shown first.
Yo, B, do you think they would have Guerrilla do SOCOM? Considering, like, wasn't it Zipper Interactive that did SOCOM, right?
Yeah, Zipper.
And Zipper's no longer in existence. So they'll need to get another one of their
existing.
existing studios to do it, or contract it out to a third party.
Yeah, well, a lot of people from Zipper are doing H Hour, which is pretty similar to what on PC. You can check that out if you're interested. But
okay,
it was supposed to come to console. I don't know if it still is or not. But a lot of people have been asking them about SOCOM, and then Shuhei kind of nodded that SOCOM could possibly be coming back. So, and with the recruitment of some people that they got from Rainbow Six, it would only kind of make sense because SOCOM is more of a tactical shooter.
Right.
But that would be like one of those things where like people have been asking about it, and they revealed it, like it would literally go nuts. I mean, so
yeah,
I think that would be like a great announcement if it actually is coming back. Like that's one of the games I've been asking for like many years. Kind of back to the game, to the way the game was, you know, like SOCOM 2 days, SOCOM Confrontation, not the SOCOM 4 bullshit that we got on PS3. So hopefully that does come back. But I feel like whatever the shooter is that they're working on, they'll show that first. And as far as like second party stuff, I feel like Housemarque is probably purchased by me.
Oh, you think they acquired them?
Yeah, because they were working on like a game like Fortnite or whatever. They were working on like a
battle royale game.
A battle royale game. So they were working on that, and they completely got away from that. Said that they were working on something totally different, and it would be revealed soon. So,
so they just canceled the battle royale game and just started working on something different.
I feel like whatever they're working on, it's something that Sony like kind of assigned them to work on, or like gave them, IP to kind of do their own thing on. But I think that could be a possibility as well. So, and then there's always, Sony has always been good at developing second party relationships. So there's always the Metal Gear Solid remake where that's been around for a while. So that could be another thing that gets announced. So they got some stuff they can reach in the back and get, I feel like, and really surprise people and get people excited. So see.
And then of course,
Sony's been working on a Ratchet and Clank, so I feel like that could probably be like a great launch game, especially if they can get it. The value price like they did the last one. So.
I saw somebody kind of mentioned Jack and Daxter might be making a return.
Yeah. Too.
Yeah. I think they probably will still also with this event showcase some of their marketing deals with games like the Avengers game. Like they're probably that comes out in September, so they're probably going to show that as well because they got the marketing rights to it. Might as well get it out there since there's no E3 to really do that. I think they'll probably do that as well. And anything else they got, like maybe show the new Call of Duty that's coming out. Something, I don't know, but whatever they got marketing rights for, they'll probably show that.
It's the order. I'm agreeing with Sam and people in the chat. It's the order.
Oh, Ready at Dawn is doing the Order sequel finally.
Yep.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
Yeah,
that would have like a lot of buzz.
Yeah.
Whether it's people who feel like they don't like the game or people who have been clamoring for another one, that would cause a lot of buzz if they actually did announce.
I actually really liked the first one. I thought it was a little short. And the game, I didn't like the QTE during boss battles, but I thought the story was excellent. the game visually still stands up today. It looks better than a lot of games today. And that game came out like what 6 years ago.
Yeah.
It's that engine that Ready at Dawn has. Is just
they have something
amazing.
there. They have something that they could build on if they go for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Think of something.
What's that be?
What if Gorilla and Ready at Dawn were doing a collaboration?
On what exactly? What would they collaborate on? What do you think?
1886. Or Gorilla.
So like Gorilla's helping them with the
Decima
Decima engine? Like Gorilla's helping them with Decima, the way they kind of collaborate with Kojima Productions.
And what if second team is actually doing a multiplayer version of the game? Yeah, Dawn is still doing the content.
That's what people were asking for. They were saying the game was built for having a multiplayer component.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the thing, it's like, we've heard people talk about, like even Colin Moriarty mentioned, you say they put so much focus on making it look good. Like they nailed that part of it, but they just forgot to really make a deep world and make a deep game.
You're right.
It
was very linear. The cover shooting, it wasn't bad cover shooting. It was just, there was nothing that made it unique. There was nothing different about that cover shooting than any other game that features a third person perspective shooting element. It was literally like it was very basic with that. But again, characters, very, very deep characters, great story. Just and
the weapons,
and
the weapons they had in there were really interesting.
The weapons were great with Tesla, being like your I forgot the name of that character in 007, but like he's like your guy that makes all your gadgets and everything, and the city looked amazing. Like it's freaking beautiful game, and they had a lot there. It's like that's the one game that I was just like I would have expected to have seen something from a sequel, or announcement of a sequel by now. But hopefully it's one of them.
Yeah, I would agree with that, guys. I think Order 1886, that kind of reminds me, like on the Xbox side of things, like Rise is another game I'd love to see come back. I don't think it will happen, but Sony could definitely go in their bag of games. We talked about SOCOM earlier. I think we talked about this at the last BRAP with Paul from Red Gaming Tech. We talked about like what franchises we want to see back. Siphon Filter's another one from Sony Ben. They definitely have back. I think someone earlier said Jack and Dexter might be another game that could come back. There's definitely going to be. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some older franchises that fans love come back and make their way to the PlayStation 5. Whether or not those will be revealed in the June event, who knows? But if they were, I think that's a big splash for Sony kicking off next gen for the PlayStation 5.
How about Sunset Overdrive 2?
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine that? I mean, like, Sony's petty like that. Like, I can see them doing that, right? They're totally petty like that.
It would probably sell on PlayStation.
Yeah, ironically, it probably would. Yeah. So,
first game should have. It was really good.
Oh, absolutely. So, gentlemen, go ahead, B.
The rumor of like them like coming back in August, it just kind of makes sense. They do kind of early of what, like PS5, early June. Still have 2 or 3 weeks or whatever. That promotion for Last of Us 2. They go right into, Ghost, and then back in August, they're right back PS5. So I think that makes sense. If they kind of hold off and, hit you with another thump upside the head in August, ready for next gen.
Yeah. Just as long as they do something, I'm glad they're doing something in June, because they would have gone any further than June not talking about the console. I think that would have been a mistake. So I think starting in June is definitely a good idea.
Yeah, no, I agree. Gentlemen, on that note, we do need to wrap up the podcast because I got an early morning tomorrow. Unfortunately, I have to get up at like 5:30. But you know what? I just want to say just a quick apology to all our listeners live about the technical issues I was having. Fortunately, my internet crapped out at the worst possible time, And then I was botting like Optimus Prime, apparently. But got it all figured out. The great panel here, the great Brat panel held it down while I was trying to figure shit out. So thank you guys.
Somebody said you spilled your hipster latte on your computer.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't drink lattes. But
your neighbor, man, she came over. She heard you was talking crazy.
Right, exactly. So, but no, big shout out to everyone in the live chat, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. It's really appreciate it. It's funny. It's wild because we've been doing this for a couple of years now. We're almost at 2,000 subs. So if you haven't done so already, please like and definitely subscribe to help us get to that 2K mark. We just love gaming. We started BRAP. It was all about the love for games and, just getting together to talk about video games. That's what we wanted to do. Ryan says, get a new dial-up modem, Enrique. Yeah. Kendrick Star with the $2 super chat.
Enrique, we started this podcast for chicks.
Right? Exactly.
Chicks love guys that sit around talking about video games.
Oh boy! So big shout out to Kendrick Star at the $2 super chat. Thank you, great show, guys. Appreciate the support, Kendrick. But hey, we'll see you guys. Look, we are working on trying to get some other guests on BRAP as well. So keep an eye out for that. I know Paul and I have actually been talking behind the scenes about doing a part 2. He's gotten some DMs saying that he should come back on the show. A lot of people liked him. Just talking, he's never really done. That was actually the first time he's actually done a live stream. So
he did a really good job.
He's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone, please, if you haven't done so, please check out Red Gaming Tech.
Gregor. Gregor says if BRAP reaches 2,000 subs, Enrique will unlock his PSN trophies.
Yeah. People that are on my friends list on PlayStation can see my PSN trophies. By the way, Gregor. So if you want to see them, Gregor, if you have PlayStation, which you probably don't, you can send me a friend's request, and then you can see my trophies. But OBS says best of luck, BRAP. I can see you guys growing a lot. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. But big shout out to the panel again, B Money, Eric Jackson, Gaming Forte, Slimo Backslap. We'll start with B Money. B, let everyone know where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me here every Wednesday night on Twitter and your local gaming machine, Money 101.
Awesome, man. Awesome. E Jackson, let everyone know where they can find you, sir. Right by the beach.
Nope, my front yard. Like the house arrest bracelet.
Wow. Yeah.
But no, you can find me on Twitter, EC Jackson with an X. And when I'm not here, I'm also on Gaming Perspective Podcast, Saturday nights, 8 o'clock.
Awesome. And the one and only Gaming Forte, the best man in the retail business. Forte, where can everyone find you, sir?
Yeah, this is Gaming Forte. You can find me on my channel where I'm finally making videos again after 4 months. Go Xbox. I love Xbox. Xbox is great. I love this Xbox onesie. It makes my nipples feel good. By the way, you guys can also find me on Crossfire with Mooch and Enrique and Xbot and Crap Gamer every Friday nights at 7 p.m. And of course with the beautiful Ash and Luca at 4 p.m. on Saturdays. And then also you can find me on another podcast because I do a podcast every single day, every single night. I do another podcast Monday with Boom. Primetime Gaming with Boom, Double Barrel Boomstick. I'm Forte and I'm out. Peace. Love Xbox.
Oh my God!
What in the world did you just do?
Wow, Forte, you
know what? When he started, because I literally had to go see what my wife wanted, and as I'm coming back, I hear Enrique going through the outros, and Slow-Mo started talking up for me, and I'm like, let me just hear how this plays.
Yo, you gotta do your outro every week now, man.
Yeah, Slow-Mo, please everyone know where they can find you, sir.
Yeah, you can find me trying to impersonate Forte poorly here on the BRAP podcast, but then also you can find me on Scumcast 4 p.m. Easterns on Saturdays, and my own YouTube channel where I make videos about games, doesn't matter the platform, and whatever I feel like talk about at that time. So yeah.
Woo! That's sweet. So yeah. That was a great impersonation.
The mic was too clear to be Forte.
Wow.
Oh,
There's no shade at you, Forte. On that note, hey, everyone, we're out. Hey, have a great rest of the week, by the way. Enjoy some time playing video games. Please stay safe. It's okay to wear masks in public, by the way. It's okay. On that note, we're out. We'll catch you guys next week. Peace.